Hello, students. So, how are you all? So, I welcome you all. So, my name is Aditya Jain from askIITians, and today we are going to start a new chapter of your grade 6, which is motion, measurement, and distances. Okay. So, if I talk about the part measurement, first of all, we are concerned with the part measurement, then we'll see the part motion. Okay. So, if I talk about previous ages or the long time ago, we use some modes of transport. Yes or no? Because if I talk about long time ago, we used to travel with our feet only. Yeah, we used to walk. Then we develop a technology known as boats. Yeah, we develop boats to travel in the water. Yeah. After that, we were using some animals, or simply we were carrying some weights on our back and moving on the road. So that was the transport of or means of transport we were using. But as the time flies, technology came. But as the time flies, technology came, just like we have developed a technology called wheel. So after that, we were carrying or using the technology of wheel to carry the loads or to carry the people from one place to another place. If I gave you example about bullock cart, we started our journey with bullock cart. Then we, after the 19th century, we have developed technology like motor vehicles. Yeah. Now today we have developed aeroplanes, spacecrafts. So now the modes of transport has been changed from time to time. Yeah. So that's the development in the modes of transport. Okay. So today we are going to study these first modes of transport then. Okay. So this is the chapter motion and measurement of distances. Okay. So see, first of all, we are concerned with measurement of distances. First of all, we'll cover the topic measurement of distances. So first, see what we are going to study. We are going to cover this topic in this class known as measurement methods, which are known as measurement methods. Yeah. Then we'll see standard units of measurement. Then we'll see how to measure lengths correctly, and then how to measure a length along a curved line. So basically, this lecture is all about measurement portion. Okay. So now let's start the lecture. That's what I told you, because if I go with the timeline of transport, we are basically concerned with modes of transport we have been using from time to time. So first we started with boats, I told you. Then after the time flies, we simplify as tell you, in the previous time we were using simple log of wood, which is having a hollow cavity, and then we used to travel on them on the sea. Yeah. After that, we developed the technology of joining different pieces of wood and giving them different shapes like boats. So that's where the development of boat had started. After that, we developed the technology of wheel. So after that wheel, we were using that wheel in a bullock cart or in car, any type of transport. Yeah. Now after that, horses will come. Horses, we were using horses for traveling. After that, there were hot air balloons. We all know hot air balloons. They are the air transport, air means of transport basically. The first advantage or first revolution in the transport was the development of steam engine. Steam engine, or you can see the steam engine uses the technology of wheel again. Yeah. Then there comes the motorized ships having motor, boats having motor. Then we using the cycles also, bicycles also. This is a steam engine, and right now the latest development is automobiles, motor car. Okay, so that is the timeline of transport. That from time to time we were gaining some technology of transport, starting from our feet, just walking, and now if I talk about today's time, we are using spacecrafts, rockets. Yeah, so we are even having reaching the space also. Yeah, so now the technology has developed so much as far as this century is concerned. Okay, now see, basically there are three means of transport we use. First is on land, which we use to travel on land from one place to another place. Another modes of transport is sea, or you can say water. You can say water mode of transport, and the third one is on air. Yeah, in air we used to travel. These are the basic examples of land transport. We use bus, we use cars, we use trolleys, we use engines or trains. So they all are examples of modes of transport on land. Now talking about sea, we use boats, some more technological boats. Yeah, these are the ships, and these are the simple design boats. Basically, boats and ship are the means of transport on sea. Now today, if I talk about latest technology, there are submarines. Yeah, there are submarines also which move inside the surface of water. Yeah, or inside the water, submarines. So they are also categorized under water modes of transport. Now concerned about air, we have helicopters, We have aeroplanes, we have hot air balloons, and the latest one is the rockets or satellites we use to travel in air. Okay, so now the aeroplane has become the most popular means of transport because it requires less time to travel from one place to another place. Okay, so this was the timeline of modes of transport which you were using. Because if I give you some examples, suppose during your summer holidays, so during your summer holidays, some of you might travel to your relatives. So some might travel by bus, some will take a train, some will take a ship, or some will take an aeroplane. So all of you are using different modes of transport for traveling from one place to another place. Yes or no? You are using different modes of transport for traveling from one place to another place. Okay. Now talking about measurement. What is the need of measurement basically? Because we are concerned with measurement in this lecture. So first of all, measurement. Okay. Suppose if you want to go from your home to your school or some marketplace. So how will you decide which mode of transport should you take? Either you can walk, either you can walk, or either you can take a bus, either you can take a train, or if you are moving from one city to another city, you can take a aeroplane also or a flight also. Yeah. So who is deciding that which mode of transport we have to use? There is something known as length. There is something known as length, or you can see the distance. Suppose if you have to go suppose a much smaller distance, if I say, so you can prefer walking or just taking a bus, local bus. But yeah, if you have to cover a larger distance, you have to use that train or aeroplane. So the distance, or I can say the length which you have to travel, will decide the mode of transport which you are going to take. Okay, that's why this term which is known as measurement is necessary in our daily life, that we have to measure that length. Yeah, getting my point? You have to decide that length, that how is the measurement of that length, and on the basis of that length or measurement, you will decide which mode of transport you are going to use for your journey. Okay, so suppose in the school time we have done one activity. Suppose this is a table. This is a table in the school, and you want to measure the length of this table. You want to measure the length of this table. Okay, so suppose there are 50 students in class, and if I say you have to measure the length of the table with the hand span, everyone must use their hand span to calculate the length of the table. Okay, or you can use another method, that you can use a, I say, volleyball or your cricket bat. Suppose I'm using a cricket cricket bat and a base. So what I'll do, I'll align cricket bat like this, and I'll align bales like this, and I will measure how many cricket bats and bales are required to get this complete measurement of the length of the desk. Suppose I am getting the length of the desk as 2 complete bat lengths and 2 bales. So this is the length I have measured. Yeah. Suppose there was another person or another student in the class which has different bat, So he is answering me that the length of the desk is 3 bats complete length and 1 bales. So see, there is some difference in measurement. Yeah, there is some difference in measurement. Yeah, because everybody has different kinds of measurement, because I have some other bat and the other person should have another bat. So the length can vary. Yeah, so the length can vary. So the measurement can vary according to the size of bat or bales which you are using. So it depends upon the measurement method you are using. Suppose I am saying just calculate with the hand span, but it is also convenient or prevalent that the hand span of different student will be different. Yes or no? The hand span of different students will be different, because it is by birth. Everyone has just some different measurement of this hand. Yeah. So someone will answer, I'm getting 3 hand span. I'm getting 2 hand span. So the answer will be confusing. So basically, how you measure, if I go about measurement, there is 2 things involved in measurement. One is this 3. So 3 is the number which is showing the magnitude, and hand span is something known as unit. Hand span is something known as unit which you are using to measure the length or width of anything. Yeah. In this case also, this 2 is the number and bat is the unit which you are using. Okay. Someone will say width of the table with my elbow, this length from my tip of the finger to my elbow. So he'll answer me like, sir, we are getting 2 elbow length of the table. So what is this 2 elbow length? 2 is the number or magnitude, and this elbow length is the unit. So in the measurement, 2 things are required, this number or magnitude, and the second thing which is unit. Okay. So this is why the need of measurement is there, to decide how much larger or smaller is the length of any object, or you can say any journey from one place to another place. Getting my point? Okay. So now, how do people know how far they have traveled? This is the question, that how do people know how far they have traveled? So the answer of this question is the measurement. You have to measure that distance you have traveled, then only you will be able to answer how far or how small you have traveled from one place to another place. Okay, so this is the thing, that measurement is very important in day-to-day life, because you have to know that how far or how small you have traveled from one place to another place. So to get that idea, you need something called as measurement. Okay, so what does the basic meaning of measurement says? Measurement means the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. If I go back with the previous example, the known quantity to us was the hand span, and we were comparing the unknown quantity, which was the length of the table, with that known quantity of hand span. So I was saying I am getting the length of table as 3 hand span, suppose 1, 2 and 3. So the known quantity here, or the standard quantity, is the hand span, and the unknown quantity was there is the table length. So you are just comparing the unknown quantity table length with the known quantity hand span. That is known as measurement. So whenever you are measuring some quantity or some length or some distance, what you are doing, you are basically comparing the unknown quantity which you want to know with some known quantity which you already know. That known quantity can be anything. That known quantity can be anything. It can be bat length. It can be elbow length. Yeah, it can be hand span also. It can be elbow length also. It depends upon your measurement. Okay, so the known fixed quantity, this known fixed quantity which I was taking as hand span, is known as the unit. And the result of a measurement is expressed in 2 parts. So one part is a number, and the other part is the unit of the measurement. That's I told you, suppose 2 elbow length. So in 2 elbow length measurement, 2 is the number, and the other part is the elbow length, which is the unit. So this is the unit, and this is the number. So measurement is combination of 2 things, number and unit. That number will give you the magnitude, and unit will give you the fixed quantity which you have taken to make the measurement. Okay, clear? So this is how measurement works, or how measurement is necessary. Suppose in this picture, if you see, a person is measuring the length of his hand span, yeah, with some scale, you say. So suppose the measurement comes at 9 centimeter. So this 9 is the fixed number. This is the one part, or unknown quantity which I was saying. And this centimeter is the known quantity, which is the fixed quantity, which is the known as unit, which is known as units. Okay, so this thing is clear, that measurement has 2 things, number as well as fixed quantity, which is known as unit. Okay, so what is the need for measurement now? What is the need for measurement? That you have to get an idea how far they have traveled. But now I'm talking about a word which is known as standard measurement, or standard unit of measurement. Okay, standard unit of measurement. So there are some standard unit of measurement or standard devices. If I gave you an example, there is a meter scale or a ruler. If I talk about a cloth merchant, he will use a meter rod. Cloth merchant will use a meter rod. And suppose I talk about tailor. Tailor uses a device known as tape to measure the length. So what is the need for standard unit of measurement basically? If I do it with the activity, suppose the same activity we are doing, and if I suppose replace it with measuring the height. Suppose we have to measure the height of a person, or you have to measure your heights. Okay, so there is one boy, suppose A, there is a boy A, and there are rest of the people in class have to measure its height. So there are 2 methods to measure height. One we will do with the hand span. So every individual will measure the height with a hand span length. Another we will use a suppose meter scale or a tape we can use. Okay, so suppose there are various datas involved by various persons. Suppose B, C, D, E, F. These are 5 students in the class who measure the height of the boy A. So how to measure the height? Just stand beside the wall and make a mark on the top of the head here. So and you have to measure the distance from the ground to the mark. That will give you the height of that person A. So suppose person B reported that he is getting the height of person A as 2 hand span. Okay, C is getting 3 hand span. Okay, D is getting 2.5 hand span. So what is 2.5 hand span? 2 complete hands and 1 half hand. Suppose E is reporting as 3.4, 3.5 hand span. Okay, F is reporting as 1.5 handspan. Okay, so we are just taking for example. So you can see all are reporting different lengths. All are reporting, although the object is same, although the person is A, whose height has to be measured, but they are reporting different heights. Why they are reporting different heights? Because each individual has a different size of handspan. Each individual has a different size of handspan. So this must be confusing. If you want to measure any length or if you want to report any data, that will be confusing, because for every individual, handspan means different thing. The length of handspan of one person will not match with the length of handspan of other person. So we have to make a measurement which is known as standard unit. So which is universally accepted. So this is why the need comes of standard unit of measurement. That's why we are using some standard units which are universally accepted, so that everyone will get the same answer. So now if they try to measure the length with a meter scale or any tape, suppose B is getting 140 centimeter. So now all will report the same value of 140 centimeter. Why? Because they are now using a standard value which is known as centimeter. So everyone will get an answer at the same value. So this is the need, or this is the advantage of using standard units of measurement, because in this left side column handspan, every individual has different length of handspan. So what is measurement? Measurement is comparison of one unknown quantity with the known quantity. Now we have made the known quantity as a standard unit. Previously we were using the elbow length, handspan, bat, wails, anything you can use depending upon you. But it varies from individual to individual. To get a standard value or to get a standard result which is universally accepted, you have to use some standard units. So in this case we have used centimeter. So this is the need of standard units of measurement. Clear? Now I think it is clear that how to or why to use these standard units of measurement, so that everyone will get a same answer. Suppose you are measuring a height of that person on earth. So on earth it will come as 140 centimeter, and on moon it will also be 140 centimeter. So everywhere the length is same or height is same, because it is measured in standard units. So that's why standard units are very much important. Now see some standard units of measurement we use. This is known as centimeter. Centimeter is 1 unit of length. This is also a foot also. You can also call it as feet. Foot is also another unit of measurement. Inch is another unit of measuring length. Meter is another unit, and yard is another unit. So these are different units of measurement. But yeah, they are standard. They are universally accepted. 1 centimeter equals to 1 centimeter on earth is equals to 1 centimeter on moon, or 1 centimeter in India is equals to 1 centimeter in America also. So that is the advantage of using standard units of measurement. Clear? Now see the interconversion. Basically, there are basically 3 common units we use for measuring the length. One is the meter, other one is centimeter. So first is meter, which is abbreviated symbol M. Second one is centimeter, which has a symbol small c small m. Third one is millimeter, which has a symbol small m, and the last one is kilometer. These are the most common units, small k, small m. So these are the different standard units of measurement. We have a scale here on the right side. If you can see, these has various divisions. So this is a standard scale. This is a standard scale, which is known as metric ruler. Okay. So these has some partitions. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are showing some centimeter values. 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, starting from 0 here. So when you travel from this point 0 towards this point, you will get different centimeter lengths, and in between the centimeters there are small marks. You can see there are small marks between centimeters. Suppose between 10 and 11 there are different marks. So these marks, each individual part is showing the value of millimeter. So this we have to interconvert, is known as interconversion of units. Suppose 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So what does that mean? If 100 units of centimeter will combine, they will make a meter. So meter is a bigger unit in comparison to centimeter. So if you have to measure some bigger distance, suppose the distance of a room or length of a room, you will prefer using meter. But yeah, if you want to measure the length of a pencil, then you will prefer centimeter, because centimeter is a smaller unit. You can simply use a meter scale. Now 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeters. So now 10 units or 10 parts of millimeter will combine to make a centimeter. That's why you can see on the scale between 2 and 3 there are different pointers, small, they are showing millimeters. So between 2 and 3 they are 10 millimeters. Yeah, that is the point. Now the highest unit we use for distance is kilometers. 1 kilometer is a very bigger unit, it is equals to 1000 meter. So this is required when you are traveling from one city to another city. When you are traveling from one city to another city, the distances are or the lengths are measured in kilometers. So these are some standard units of measure which are universally accepted. So I think it is clear why the need of measurement was there, first of all. Then why the need of standard measurement was there. Then how to interconvert the different units of measuring lengths. It is clear? Okay. So we'll move forward now. Now we are concerned with measuring length correctly. First of all, we have seen how to measure length. Now we'll see how to measure length correctly basically. Yeah, you can use any device, you can use tape, you can use meter rod, you can use meter scale. Yeah, but first of all we have to see how to measure the length correctly. Now see this figure. Suppose you have to read a scale reading like this. This is the scale reading we have to measure, this red dot. So there are three ways of looking at this. Either you can look from this side, either you can look from this side, and either you can look from vertically above the point you have to measure. So the correct eye position is that position in which you are directly looking straight into the point on the scale on which you have to measure the length. This is the correct way, because if suppose the standard length is 7.5 centimeter, so that standard length you will get by observing it from the vertically above point or vertically straight point. If you look through it some other direction, say leftward or rightward, you will get some error. You will get some error. Suppose from there you will get 7.6 centimeter or you are getting 7.7 centimeter, though there is some error involved. So always measure the length, or whenever you want to read the reading on a scale, always read that reading in just looking directly vertically at that point at which the reading is required. This is the one way to measure correct length. Other way is that suppose you want to measure the length of this box using a meter scale. So always remember that you have to keep the meter scale aligned parallelly with the box or just touching the box vertically. It should be not like that inclined. It should be perfectly touching the box in a straight line so that you will get the correct measurement. Okay. So first thing is that you have to make the ruler aligned. Second thing, you have to observe this reading. So observe it vertically from here, just straight to this line. You have to measure it from here. Then you will get the correct reading. The third point is that sometimes the end points of the ruler are break. Suppose the end points of the ruler are break. So you can do what? You cannot take the value from 0. Don't prefer to take the value from 0 centimeter because that part is broken. Rather prefer, suppose that in this picture you can see the measurement has been taken from 1 centimeter. The initial point is 1 and the final point is something like 13.5 say. So the initial reading was 1 centimeter and the final reading was 13.5 centimeter. So what is the effective length? For effective length, you have to subtract both these values, that is 13.5 minus 1, that will give you 12.5 centimeter. So this is the exact length of this box you want to measure. But yeah, if your scale is not broken, you can directly start from 0 centimeter by putting 0 centimeter at one end point of the box and then reading this value. So if I ask about this, or if I say about this example 12.5 centimeter, and if you put the 0 of scale exactly at this end point, so at another point you will get 12.5 centimeter correctly. So this was the case when the ruler was not broken. If the ruler is broken at the ends, there is no problem. You can start the measurement from in between any centimeter. But yeah, remember, just take the difference of the two values you have taken at the starting point and the final point. So this is the way to measure correct length. So there are three ways or three things you have to consider or remember or take precaution of. First is that always align the meter scale or whichever scale you are using with the object you are measuring the length of, exactly aligned, touching it straight. Second thing, if the ruler is broken, try to measure length from any other point rather than 0 and mark the difference. Just I have taken 13.5 minus 1 centimeter. Third point, always try to look at the length or the point which you want to measure vertically straight. Suppose the mark is here So I'll measure it like this. I'll not go like this. This is the incorrect method. This is the incorrect method. The correct method is this, vertically straight towards your eyes. So this is the correct way of measuring any length. So I think it is clear that how to measure length correctly also, and how to get the standard units. We have already seen that. Okay. Done. Okay. Now we are concerned about measuring a curved line. That first of all we have done the measurement of a straight line. Now we are concerned with the measurement of a curved line. Now the meter scale will not work in case of a curved line. Yes or no? The meter scale will not work in a case of curved line. Yes or no? So what to do then? A method known as thread method is used. A method known as thread method will be used here. Okay. So what do you mean by thread method? Thread method is the method to measure the length of a curved line. So if you can see in the diagram, there is some curved line right here. This red one is the curved line. This was the curved line. Okay. And you want to measure the length of that curved line. So we cannot directly use a meter scale because it is straight. So what we do else, we take a thread, we tie a knot to the thread. Suppose we tie a knot here of the thread and align this knot with the starting point of the curved line. Suppose this is A point. So at A point you have tie a knot at the thread and just keep it here. Now just stretch it along the curved line. First put your thumb on the point A and then your forefinger on the point B. Suppose this is point B. So up to point B you have attached it with the curved line. So now after that move your thumb towards point B and again start stretching the thread along the curved line. And again make the forefinger in the forward direction like this. Suppose if you are making thumb here B, now your forefinger will be along C. Repeat the process until you reach this end point. So that what is the benefit of doing this process? That you have aligned the thread exactly same way as the curved line is. Basically you are putting the thread straight above the curved line so that it will match the shape of the curved line. Now tie the knot at the another point C or D, which is the final point. So tie a knot here also. So now you have got two knots on the thread, one at the starting point, other at the ending point. Now stretch this thread along the meter scale here. This was the first knot at A. This was the second knot at D. So now from this you will be easily able to measure the length of thread which was required to align itself along a curved line. So this is the way of measuring the length along a curved line, which is known as thread method. So I hope this is clear. So let's get a much better view of this method with a video. Yeah, I'm going to show you a video. The length of a curved line. So basically we are measuring the length of a curved line here. Okay, so let's see what. The length of a curved line can be measured by using a thread. Put a knot on the thread near one end. Okay, so I told you have to put a knot on the thread at the one end of the curved line which you wish to measure. Here we wish to measure this yellow curved line or curved path. At the beginning of the line, point A, and press it with your arm. Place a small portion of the thread along the curved line. Press the other end of this portion with your forefinger. Now see, you have pressed the one portion at point A with your thumb and you are going to press the other portion of the thread along the curved line with your forefinger. Now place the thumb at point B and a small portion of the thread along the next portion of the line. So now what you have done? Where you were placing your forefinger, now you have moved your thumb to that point. And now you are going into forward direction and putting your forefinger in the next part of the thread. Yes or no? Or the next portion of the line. Repeat to trace the entire length of the curved line using the thread. So now see, you have to repeat this process to trace the entire length of the curved line using a thread until you reach the end point of the curved line. Mark the thread where it touches the end of the line. Now stretch out the. Done. So you have marked the end point where you have touched the where you have finished the curved line and tie a knot also there. Okay. Now stretch out the thread on a meter scale and mark the or measure the distance between the two nodes. One node was at the starting point and the other node was at the finishing point of the curve.
On a meter scale and measure its length. The length of the thread is the length of the curved line.
So whatever length you are getting of a thread on the meter scale will give you the length of that curved line. So now I hope this is clear how to measure the length correctly. Yes or no? I think this is clear now how to measure the length correctly.
Repeat to trace.
So I hope this is clear what we have done. We have seen how to measure length correctly. Yeah. We have seen first of all, we started with modes of transport. We have seen the development of modes of transport starting from boats, going to animals, then wheels, then engines, aeroplanes, rockets, balloons, and we have seen different modes of transport, namely land transport, water transport, air transport. Okay. Then we see what is the need of measurement. So the need of measurement is to decide how far you have traveled. And measurement consists of two parts. One part is number, which will give you magnitude. And other part is a fixed quantity, which is known as unit. So for getting a standard unit of measurement or for getting a equal value from wherever you are doing the measurement, that's why the standard units of measurement were required. And we have seen standard units: meter, centimeter, millimeter, and kilometer. So 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. That was the interconversion. 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeter. That was the interconversion. And 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter. So the larger distances are measured in kilometer, then in meter, then in centimeter, and if the distances are small, they can be measured in millimeter. So that's the benefit of using standard units of measurement, that the measurement is applicable universally. Yeah. Then we have seen how to measure the length correctly. There are 3 precautions you have to take. First, just align the meter scale or any scale which you are measuring with the object straight, touching the object straight. Then if your scale is broken, you can take the measurement from any centimeter, not compulsory from 0 centimeter, from where the scale has been broken, and make the difference of the initial and final reading. You will get the correct length of the object. Okay. Third thing, which is the most important, always read the measurement from straight line. This is the point, you have to measure this in front of your eyes only, not like this, tilting rightward or leftward. Getting my point? Then we have seen how to measure the length of a curved line, and then length of a curved line can be measured by a method known as thread method. You have to simply tie a knot at the starting point. Step by step, trace the thread along the curved line and mark the knot on the final point. And then place this thread along a meter scale and measure the distance between the two knots. One knot was at the initial point, another knot was at the final point. So whatever measurement you are getting is ultimately the length of the curved line, and you have measured it correctly. So I hope these all things are clear. We have done till now. So thank you guys. Stay safe and enjoy. And if you have any doubt, just go to the forum at the Ask IITians website. There is a doubt forum present here. You can put your doubts and get your answers. Okay. So we are done to this lecture of today. So thank you so much, guys.